So if you have discovered the divinity, then there is no question. You are thrilled and full. You are seeing this as a Leela, the world is being played. If you are seeing it as like a novel, then God forbids. When you are saying this, oh Ram discarded Sita. If you look at their conversation, they are so piously and reverentially speaking about each other, Ram and Sita. We call Ram Raj, but how democratic that Ram Raj was. Democracy, even a one person is speaking something ill, that the king is not okay, then he is ready to go according to the wish of that person, because he is the king. So was that Ram Raj more democratic, or today we have more democracy? This is a question to understand. There are 314 known Ramayans. Which Ramayana you are referring to? And which narrative? Because there is not one. There are many, but I understand. You are saying, suppose, okay, take Valmiki as standard. But when you ask a question, what is really bothering you? That is important. Otherwise, it becomes intellectual conversation only. It will not address the problem. What is the point of wisdom or pricking your heart which has made you ask this question? Or it is just you want some intellectual height, that some new thing you will come to know, which is okay. If you are seeing it like a literary book, there are so many characters, why this character acted like this, that is one thing, which is not our kind of satsang. Ours is when you are really wanting to know something, what is happening, how did it becomes your question, and what did you face in life that it became your question. Because these are divine characters. As I was saying earlier, little while ago, that you, without becoming Ram, can we know? And when we become, there will be no question. Simple as it is. So there is something bothering. So that botheration needs to be told clearly what it is. Because for example, take this question. Now where from you will take it? It begins in a way. I mean, I am not saying, because it can be related to the present. That is why I am saying in a way. What is the relation between the present? This Devasur Sangram. Devasur Sangram means within our heart, this struggle goes all the time. Choose between positive and negative. That is Asuri Sampatti and Devi Sampatti. Both are fighting within our heart. Whether we will choose divine or we will choose Asuras. Means what? Suppose you want to wake up at 4 o'clock, but you sleep 1 minute, that means you have chosen Asuri Pravritti. Now you have lost that. If you have chosen divine, that means now you will ask what to do next, because you have progressed. So Devasur Sangram is always present. So at the time of Devasur Sangram, it so happened that Bhrigu Rishi's wife, Khyati, Sukracharya's mother, these Asuras came for asking for the shelter to her, and she provided them shelter. So Vishnu became angry because he was on the other side. So he killed her. So Bhrigu Rishi became angry, and he says, you were not supposed to. This is not doable. You should not have done that. Became very angry. And he cursed him, Vishnu, that you will also have to undergo this separation. As I am undergoing, because you have done this. Later, a second moment, as always happens with Bhrigu, he realized he made a mistake. Like one time he goes and in his chest also he puts his feet, he almost thrust his feet to the Vishnu. One mistake he made. Another time, this time, say, I made a mistake. So he sits for his meditation only, because he is his Devata also. So the genesis is there. That separation was, where from you are taking the story, and what is the point you are trying to see into that. So it is, the beginning is somewhere else. They are merely executing that. So now if you are saying no, as a human being at Treta, what was kind of consciousness was there, then Granth you should read Valmiki for what? Only for his language. if you see the beauty of the language, everything else is immaterial. The way he moves, when you are saying this, oh, Ram discarded Sita. If you look at their conversation, they are so piously and reverentially speaking about each other, Ram and Sita. Is there any word which is seen and he says, oh, such, how this story really happens, even in by Valmiki's time? So Ram has his friends, 7-8 friends he had. So their role was they will be going to the old, this thing, Ayodhya, everywhere, roaming and knowing how the people are speaking. So they were his confidant. One time he was sitting with his son, he was his bond. He asked, what are people talking these days? So he said, everything is going fine, everything is very well. He said, well, that is fine. Everybody is happy, that is okay. But what are they really talking? What is the topic of conversation? So they say, these days they are talking about you and Sita. People are saying that how did Ram accepted Sita after so many days staying with Ram? And then Ram becomes a little concerned. He asks his friend, and how do you see? So they were his loyal friends. He says, no, ठीक ही तो बोल रहे हैं. They are saying correct only what it is there. Then he says, thank you. And then he immediately cancels that meeting and he calls his brothers. All 3 brothers come immediately and he says to them, look, Sita is very dear to me and you people are very dear to me. And all of us know how pious he is. Lakshmana is very much verification. We are going by the story, answering. These are not my things. I am telling out the story. I have no question, I have no answer. My story is different. I am just telling Valmiki's thing because somebody has raised a question. Then he says, now swear by me, whatever, my feet and my head both, because they follow his feet and head because he want to clearly say, you obey me, no? Clearly. Then you will not say no to what I am going to tell you. Then they say something is about to come. So then he shares with them the story. Look, people are talking like this. And appears because, see, this is the lesson for today. We call Ramraj, but how democratic that Ramraj was. Democracy, even a one person is speaking something ill, that the king is not okay, then he is ready to go according to the wish of that person because he is the king. So was that Ramraj more democratic or today we have more democracy? This is a question to understand. There was nobody was saying, even in front of Ram, nobody came and told. He just heard through his friends that people are talking such things. That something some in his character, people are raising a question. That this is not the way you should have behaved as Ram. It's just whispering. So even he is ready to change his behavior so that people, so he says, there are very many ways to look at it. One is that people are not capable of reaching to that height. They cannot, they are just seeing very gross that Sita stays with her in Ravan's place. So bodily conscious. So even in Treta, people were body conscious. So that should be understood very well. That every time, even in Kali Yuga, people are Satyugi. In every yugas, people are in different stages of consciousness. So people were saying that she stayed there. So he says, now you have to leave Sita. It tells Lakshman that you go and drop Sita on the other side of the Ganga, and he hints that there is Maharshi Valmiki's ashram. This is what is written in Gita Press, Valmiki Ramayana. One day before that, Ram and Sita were roaming into the Upavan, that is their own garden. So that is where I am telling Shabd Gati, how you understand it. So Sita tells Ram that, look, I am pregnant now. So Ram becomes very happy. She doesn't tell, in fact, he looks and knows that now she is pregnant. So he is very happy looking at them. Then he says, what can I do good for you? Kuch acha, can I do something for you? He asks Sita. For your happiness, what can I do? So she says, Sita had always this liking for jungles and fruits and roots, more than mahals. From which she was child, that time also she had this inclination. So she says, one night, can we go in some seers ashram? They stay beyond the Ganga and stay there one night and eat those roots and fruits. So he says, tomorrow. So now in the evening this event has happened in the daytime, and tomorrow the things are ready. So he said to Lakshman, go and drop her because he want to go to the jungle. Now it is not cheating. See, I am saying Shabd Gati line. He says, so she wants to go, but you have to drop her there and come back. Lakshman, of course, he became very sad. He goes to Sita and says, you wanted to go to the jungle? He has given me permission, I will take you. She becomes happy that now she has been granted. I said, get ready. He says, I'll collect some our clothes and everything, good things. We'll distribute there to the seers. While she is riding, she says, कुछ अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. Something is amiss. Now this is what should be seen in Granthas, how their mind is working, subtly. Just थोड़ी देर पहले she was very happy. This is कुछ अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. So what she does, and when अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, what she does? She start blessing his सास ससुर, whole praja, let there be good, my husband be in a good health, everything should be good. That is all she does when she is feeling low. And then the chariot comes and both are sitting and Sarathi is also there. Then they are going. So Lakshman is unhappy all the time. He said, why are you so unhappy? Oh, you cannot be separate from your brother for 2 days. Look, I am happy. I have no issue. So how can he tell? So he is just going and fine. So much conversation. So that mood keeps going here and there. How mind works, words work. One day before, Sita only indicated, now my time has come to leave me. There. That is how it is seen. It's an indication only. She will not say that what all has to happen. Just indications settle tomorrow. It's seers for word. So here Lakshman is going and dropping her. And then he says, look, I have to tell you something which I am incapable of telling. Then she says, some conversation, I said, no problem. You have to tell if something needs to be told. So then he says, I have to drop you here. Of course she gets up and then she says, look at me. I am pregnant. Then he says, I have never looked at beyond your feet. How can, when Ram is not there, I even think of you? This is written there. Then she says, Ram is doing the correct thing and I am with him. She is not. So how strong women character are there, and if all the literature you read, even in my life I see around, most strong character I have seen women. So the people, those who see in this way that she was wronged or this, nothing like that. They were equally partner and more, courageous than the men folk. So they were partner. So Sita says, no, he is doing the correct, because for a king, yasha is important. If he has taken the role of a ruler, then praja should see him, but there should be no blemish on his personality. He should be seen ideal. That anybody in house could say that you should be like Ram. You should be like our king. So that should be there. So he is doing the correct thing. That's exactly as he says. And I am with him. and I am blessing again to whole family, let him be happy there. So reality you have to describe. When she is saying I am pregnant, it is not that she is asking for something. It is telling a matter of fact that let that be on record. So if you have discovered the divinity, then there is no question. You are thrilled and full. You are seeing this as a Leela, the world is being played, this is being given a something for people to follow, to understand to the extent they can understand, and move with reverence and keep moving, do your journey. That's all is there. If you are seeing it as like a novel, then God forbids. What can be done? And who's writer? Then you have to say who's writer, what thing, which sentence is bothering, then you have to, so that's another thing. I am not saying that something is negative. I am saying there are different stages of seeing a scripture. So what for you are seeing, that should be. That's why we say this discourse is possible between Guru and disciple only. Because for whom we call Guru, for him all others are complete gods except their disciples. There at least he has some job. There he is not authorized. So they say you are complete full. In my whatever ignorance or knowledge is your problem, not my problem. In my eyes, you are complete. So that's why the spiritual discourses are always between Guru and disciple, because there is something going on. Other places that doesn't go. So back to the story. So Lakshman comes back. While he is coming back, he is in a bad mood. So Sumant tells him that though I was not supposed to tell, but now is the time to tell. So he said, look, it so happened. Long back, your father and I had come here. Their seers were sitting, and Durvasa had also come there. Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, everybody was there. So your father Dasrath had asked Durvasa, because he was shining very radiant that day. So he felt like asking. So he asked, tell me about my son Ram. What kind of life he is going to have. That time only Durvasa had told him there is a separation written for him, because this is your son is the incarnation of Vishnu and he has already this issues to settle. So this will happen, separation. Also Dasrath had told me not to share it with anyone. To the Sumant. The driver is same, Rathi. So he says now is the time to pacify you, so I am telling you it's already it had to be done. It's not your problem. It was to be done this way. So he is little pacified. Then Lakshman comes back and he tells Ram. So now Ram's turn comes to become unhappy. So he says, oh, what? Look, such a pious wife we had to drop there. Because of what is this? Now Lakshman pacifies him that look, you should be happy all the time, because this is what she is also saying the same thing. And if you become unhappy and people see your unhappy face, then they will again, despite doing this much, they will say he is unhappy because he has sent her there. So what for? So Raja ka role kitna problem wala hota hai. As much responsibility you have. You say even if you have sent her, but they see you said utna hi kafi hai unke liye to pull you down. So those who are looking at negativity, they can look in anything negative. So the idea is how can you become such that you see, insulate yourself from seeing negative in anything. That's why we say Ram Ram Bolo. At least something Ram 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 Ram. Something has crossed the mind, Ram Ram Ram. Let it pass. So here we say anything, we should see only positivity. So if we are seeing as a Hari Katha, Ram Katha, then it is God's glory. We should not put such question. If we have some problem in life or somewhere, from there my question originates, this relates to me here, then it must be asked to one's Guru and not to anybody else, because that is not the way. So different characters, different relationship, different kind of maryada. Because same Lakshman who comes back, he is almost giving Ram a lesson. Not in negative sense, positive sense. This is his role as a brother. He says no. He said, किंग को इट डजंट सूट कि कोई किसी के लिए भी पत्नी पुत्र और एनीथिंग यू शुड एज यू आर, इट्स योर रोल. And then he becomes happy next day onwards as usual, doing his work. Why? Because so that is there how the spirit moves. As in Granth we say how this moving, how subtle the movement is. हमारा हम लोगों का मनुष्यों का तो मस्तिष्क ऐसे चलता है ना, our mind runs like that. Something negative, something positive. How to all the time the effort is sadhana. Is why we are saying you need to do sadhana every day, because you are there every day. So you have to align yourself every day. Every day you have to live. So every day sadhana is needed. So now I have reached to certain stage, I will not come down. No, there will be no alignment with your mind, body and self. You may be in some higher stage, but this alignment is also needed. No? Otherwise this will not cooperate. You may stay in tadayad gatva na vartante taddhamam paramam mama. You can be there. It's possible, but others will not align. So you will become a chaos in the world. So you have to do daily sadhana. Valmiki did not feel that need, because he wanted to give that message very clearly. This unity is this really the see Ram mai sab jag jani. Before Ram they are saying Sita. See Ram mai sab jag jani, karon pranam jod jupani. This is Tulsi's nirnay. He doesn't say Ram see mai. What goes? Ram see mai sab jag jani bhi bol sakte the. It doesn't break any flow. But he says no, see Ram mai sab. So priority is very clear. और वशिष्ठ ने भी बोला तो वशिष्ठ said like this कि पत्नी पति की आत्मा होती है. So he put that way. And Sita also says same thing. She is also saying, I know what is there in his heart, why he has done this. This also is there. So there is unity is very deep. There's no need for dialogue. Yes.